Okay, perfect. So you guys, we are super excited to be doing this Zoom with you. Happy New Year. I hope you guys had a great Christmas. You had a fun holiday season and you're ready to run. I don't know about you guys, but literally, I feel like I woke up on January 1st and it was like I was breathing new air. Like I just felt better, like a weight was lifted and I was like, okay, I can breathe. Things are fun and it was good. And I just made a decision internally. Hear what I said? I made a decision internally that I was going to do things differently. Not necessarily business wise, but the way that my head was working because I felt like I was trying to keep my business perfect while I was also in the tornado from Oz. Okay, like I felt like I was trying so hard to like make things happen, but everything around me was crumbling and I was like, it's fine, it's fine. And I was putting off doing all the things. And so at the first of the year, I was like, I'm going to fix everything around me and figure out how I did this. Okay. And this is not business related, but I decided that I was going to do the things that I didn't want to do. Okay. I went to the gym today and I went on the treadmill. I don't like being on the treadmill. I hate it. I feel strong with weights. Treadmill, we're not friends, okay? But I decided I'm going to do the things that I don't want to do, which involves cleaning, which involves working out, which involves putting things like different things that I don't want to do, I'm going to do because the more that I make myself uncomfortable, the better I'm going to be, which is going to translate into every single area of my life, okay? And something that I saw on Instagram, which is where I get all of my wisdom, is I saw something and I was like, dang, that was good. And it said, for this year, I don't want you to make goals. I want you to make decisions. Okay. And so you act differently when it's like, well, my goal is to go gold. Okay. Right. I saw Nicolette that said that she wanted to go gold. Right. And that was her goal. But what if you decided that you were going to go gold this year? That it was like, it wasn't I want to, it was like, I am going to, right? Like if you decided you're going to Disney World, you're going to start planning, you're going to start doing the things, you're going to start prepping, you're going to start ordering clothes, you're going to start looking up outfits, you're going to start looking up like timelines and things to do, right? Instead of if it was a goal for Disney, you might not start doing any of that because it's still far out. But if you decided that you're going to do it, you act differently. Okay. And so I just want you to go into this year, this next month, this next 90 days, whatever. What is your decision of what you're going to do here? Okay. And I just need you to go into this year crystal clear on where you're going, crystal clear on how you want to feel, how you want to act, how you want to be, how you want to portray yourself, and so many different things because the way you think about yourself is the way you're going to show yourself, right? So if you think about yourself like, oh God, no one wants to join my team, no one even wants to buy these products, then if you go try to go live, you're going to give off that energy that no one wants to join your team and no one wants to buy your products and you're not worth anything, right? So you have to think into it, and right? And so if you think about like, how would you be going live if you were making $10,000 a month? Would you have more confidence in yourself if you were slinging happy juice like it was nobody's business and you were getting 100 customers a month? Would you act differently in your business? Would you act differently in your posts, in your lives, in your reels? And I want you to start acting as if you're already there.
I also think it's important to know, like, day one means day one. Like, you can change so much so quickly. Every time I hit January, I always think back to one of the biggest months of my entire business that led to one of the biggest years of my business. And it was with the previous company, but same rules apply, right, y'all? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's just a different vehicle with better resources over here. But I remember I started the year, well, I ended the year. It was the lowest year of my life. That November, me and my husband, like it was during COVID, so much things were happening, and we ended up in a crazy situation that left us homeless for almost 2 months. We didn't have a place to live. We had been in Airbnbs, and we had resorted to the point where we spent almost a month living in a tent, hopping around campgrounds in November when it's getting cold because we had nowhere to go. And that's a low point in your business, right? Like that's a low point in your life where you're like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Okay. By December, we were able to go and stay with some of his family. Again, still not a great situation. My business was not where it was. I had previously been a double diamond with my previous company, which is like the equivalent of like platinum or, silver platinum here. And or gold platinum here. And I'd been this rank and I had lost it. And I felt like everything in my life was just crumbling. My team wasn't showing up. I wasn't showing up. Our enrollments were down. The pay was down. The volume was down. Everything felt so dead in my life that December. And I remember waking up in January and I was like, you know what? I don't want to live this. I don't want this to be my reality. Today I'm going to change it. I want you guys to know that that same rules, that same situation where I had no growth, no team working, nothing showing up. I had lost everything in my life. By the end of that January, we had brought in over 15,000 in new volume from a team that was doing nothing a couple days before. I was recognized on top leader calls with corporate. Corporate had me hosting different Zooms and stuff. Like so much changed in those 31 days. And it wasn't by a miracle or magic. It was because I made a clear-cut decision that I was no longer going to stay in this life, that this was not going to be my reality. And when I look back every year, I go back through some of my social media stuff and my team page at the time. And I'm like, what was I doing then? Like, how can I have that success again? Right? Like, I want that again. What the heck? And I will say one of the biggest differentiating factors that month between any other month in my almost 7 years in this industry, that month I read 7 or 8 different books in 1 month. 7 or 8 different books in 1 month. And I want you guys to hear that. It's a new month. It's a new month. It's a new year. If you are not putting your nose in paper or listening to an audiobook every single day, you're missing so much growth potential. They don't say it for no reason, but like leaders are readers, right? The average person reads like 1 to 2 books a year. The average millionaire reads like 4 to 5 books a month. Okay. There's something to be said in that success leaves clues. So I want you guys to get crystal clear going into your goals, going into your plan, going into whatever you're looking forward to through the end of this month, the end of this week, the end of this day, the end of the year. You've got to make sure that you also are feeding yourself because you are not going to grow with only what you know. You have to get outside inspiration. You have to get outside knowledge. I don't show up on a Zoom and be able to just pop out motivation because I'm just this amazing person. It's because I'm constantly fueling and feeding myself. I'm constantly reading. I'm constantly listening to podcasts, listening to sermons. I'm absorbing because that's what we do. We absorb and we put out. So if you want to put out good vibes, you have to be bringing something in because we probably have a lot of ick we're carrying in from last year. And if you want something to change and you just stop putting that out, you have to rewrite it. You have to put something else in. You can't keep feeding your brain the same, TV reruns, the same music that has all these bad images and bad like aggressions in it, like you've got to do something different. Feed your mind with positivity, with growth books, with positive music. I'm not even talking about Christian music. Okay, guys, there's like literally one of my favorite songs talks about like it's called Pronoia, and it's that the world is conspiring in your favor. Like, okay, it ain't even gotta be Christian stuff, all right? If that's not your jam, but find the things that are speaking life and rule out anything that's not. If you have that one song you listen to and it always makes you want to go punch a wall after, maybe we turn it off for now, okay? Maybe we replace it with something good. And that's another thing I wanted to touch on with that when it comes to setting those goals. I feel like one thing we do a lot, especially in the New Year's, we decide the things we don't want to do, right? Like, I don't want to be lazy anymore. I don't want to make the excuses. I don't want to watch the TV. I don't want to whatever that we've been doing. And I don't know about you guys, but I've had a lot of don't wants I've said in January that I did in February. Okay. Like we set up these things and these habits of like, oh, I don't want to do this, but we are creatures of habit, right? And so if we have this negative in our life, we can't just wipe it away and keep on going. There's still that space. It's got a space holder there. So I want you guys, as you are thinking about things that you want to pivot and change in your business and your life and your relationships and everything, to not look at it as this is like something we're getting rid of. I want you to look at it as a replacement. Okay. So if I want to watch less TV, maybe I'm going to say less TV, more music. I want to be off my phone more and so I can have more eye contact with my family. I want you to find different ways to replace the bad habits. I want to procrastinate less in my business because I'm going to prioritize and show up first thing and do the hard task first, or whatever it's going to look like to be that replacement to fill the gap. And that's going to allow your spirit and your mind to help move through the transitions a lot simpler getting into this year.
Yeah, you guys, I think it's really important to think about what you're putting into the world and like what you're like thinking about and talking about yourself. Like perfect example that you would think it's not a big thing, but just before this Zoom, I was going through my closet and getting rid of clothes that I didn't want anymore, right? And I pulled up this sweatshirt that when I ordered it, I thought it was so funny and it said fueled by iced coffee and anxiety. And I was like, is it funny? Yes. But do I want to speak that over myself that I'm fueled by anxiety? No. No. Have I been fueled by anxiety in the past? Absolutely. Do I want to though? No. So I'm not going to wear that as a freaking billboard on my back that's like, I'm fueled by anxiety. Like it's funny. I don't want to do that anymore. And so I took it down and I threw it away. right? Actually, I'll probably donate it because someone will wear it. But like, I'm not doing that anymore. Okay. And so what I want you to do, I'm going to do like 7 of these at the same time. So we'll just see what happens. Is I want you guys to commit to the process. Okay. Because a lot of times we get on these Zooms, right? You get hyped up and you're like, I'm ready to go. I'm going to do the things. And you don't actually commit to the process because you get hyped up, you get excited, you're like, all right, tomorrow I'm going to do the things. But then tomorrow your alarm doesn't go off, and then you wake up late, and then you show up late to work, and then at lunch you forgot to pack a lunch. So then you got to go to McDonald's and get something to eat, and then you get home and your kids are nuts, you got to do homework, you got to make dinner, and then all of a sudden they go to bed and you're like, oh, I'm exhausted. Maybe tomorrow.
Mhm.
And then that day turns into the next day, turns the next day. Right. And so you don't commit to doing anything except you get on Zoom sometimes and you get hyped up and you're like, all right, let's make some money. And then nothing comes from that. Nothing comes from the excitement, right? And so you got to commit to the process. You got to commit to the things, even on the days that it doesn't feel good, right? Some days you'll send messages and you'll get like response after response after response. And then the next day you'll send the exact same message to the exact same number of people and you'll get nothing. And you're like, what just happened? And it doesn't matter. What matters is what you're doing, what you're putting out into the world, okay? And so we're not going to go super in depth on what to focus on daily right now because a lot of you guys know what to do. It's just a matter of actually doing it. If you do not know what to do, I will put in our team chat tonight after this Zoom. I have different task lists, okay? There's the first one, which is for newbies, which is like you just started, you're just trying to like ease into it, you're trying to figure everything out. And then there's one if you're trying to make like less than 500 a month, and there's one if you're trying to like make bank, okay? And I'm probably going to tweak it tonight also to make sure it's right, talking about the new thing we're going to introduce here in a second. But just find a task list that feels good to you. And if none of those feel good and you want to make your own, make your own. Do something that makes sense where you can go to bed and be like, I did everything.
I'll share my task list as well. I made one
Yeah.
this year. I've redone an old one because I was like, I need a system that I can follow from.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to touch real quick again what you were saying with committing to the process because guys, you have to understand that what you do now is not going to pay you tomorrow. It's going to pay you in 3 months. And so what you did 3 months ago, you're reaping the reward now. So if you weren't showing up in your business 3 months ago and you're showing up now and you're getting frustrated again and again because I'm doing the things, why isn't it working? It's because you're not building your business right now. You're building it for the future. Yes, you're going to see reward now. Yes, you'll have enrollments now, but this is not what you are building. It's what you're building in the future. And so 2 months ago, because I'm in month 3 now, 2 months ago, I decided to get serious about getting recommitted to my business and showing up every single day. And that first month was hell, you guys. Okay. Lowest enrollments I've ever had in my business ever in my 7 years. It was so hard, but I did it every day. Then last month got a little bit easier, still not great, but a little bit easier, but I did it every single day. This month I'm feeling great about my business. I'm getting enrollments already in. I'm feeling so strong. I feel like things are clicking, and it's not because I decided to wake up and do it. It's because I've been doing it when I didn't see the result. I don't want you guys to set the goal, set the dream, do the action, feel the motivation, get out there, and then tomorrow be like, but it's not working and I don't like, what's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you. Like Courtney was just saying, you have to trust the process, and the process is not overnight. The process is not over the weekend. It's going to take days. It's going to take grit. It's going to take doing it in the moments you don't feel like doing it, when it's not pretty. It's doing it anyway, because I promise your future self, your future business depends on the you right now. You have to suck it up and you have to show up, because this is going to be one of the biggest seasons you've ever experienced in business, and it's up to you to ride the wave. It's up to you to create the momentum. We can't do it for you. Your best friend can't do it for you. You have to decide that you're going to show up and you're going to put in the work regardless of what happens, regardless of if you get the promotion or the enrollment or the host to post up or whatever it is. You're still going to show up, not just today, but tomorrow and the next day. And you keep showing up day in and day out, regardless of the outcome, because you have absolutely no control over what's going to happen. We are not called to predict the future. We are not called to try to control everything. We're called to sow in faith. Okay. So do your tasks in faith, trusting that it's all going to come together. Trust the process, trust the timing. It can flip on a dime. Like I said, over 15,000 in volume in 1 month before. It can flip on a dime. But if it doesn't, that doesn't mean anything's wrong with you. That just means you have to continue trusting the process. You have to continue digging in, and you have to continue planting forward.
Yeah, I think a lot of times when it's been a slower season, and you can say one in the chat if like the past couple of months were not what you wanted, if it was a slower season for you. I think when we come out of that slower season, we're trying to get the wheels going again. It's very easy to look at our social media and be like, I made this post and no one commented. I sent these messages and no one answered. And I made this story and no one even looked at it. And I did this and no one even looked at it. And no, I did this and nothing even happened. And it's like you're looking for every reason why it's going to continue to be a slow season. And what I want you to do is instead flip your brain and start looking for reasons why it's going to be a good season, why it's going to be a hype season, why things are going to go well. Because if you're constantly looking for bad things, if you're constantly looking for things that aren't working, that are feeling hard, that are bad, that's what you're going to keep seeing more of. If you're excited and you get a new thing and you're like, this is so good, this is fun, this is this, then things just start happening and you're like, okay, this is great. Right. And so just you got to switch that. And so one thing that I want to share with you before we talk about the new lead generating system is that I want you guys to get loud in the team chats and with your leader. Okay, whether that's me, whether it's Mariah, whether it's whatever, it doesn't matter who. Get loud in the team chat and with your leader for multiple reasons. Number one, it's going to keep you more excited because you and I are going to be talking. You and Mariah are going to be talking a lot, and you're going to be knowing what's happening. She's going to know what's happening. We're going to know where your team is going, what's going, and we can constantly troubleshoot with you of, okay, let's try to pivot a little bit here. Let's try this. How's this conversation going? Have you tried this, right? But on top of that, you're going to stay more excited because number one, you're going to get all this attention and everyone's going to know what's happening. You're going to be hyped up in the team. But also, you're just going to constantly be going and exploring and like sharing information with people and doing all sorts of different things that's going to keep you in line, right? Because if you're focused and you're in line and you're doing the things, it's going to be a lot easier versus if you're silent, right? Because it's very easy to step away from your goals when no one even knows what they are. And so if you come to me and you're like, Courtney, I'm freaking going silver this month. I don't care what it takes. I'm not going to, Mariah and I, sorry if you want a leader like this. We are not going to chase you down. That is not the type of leaders we are. If you tell us you want silver and then we don't hear from you for 2 weeks, we're not going to chase you down. If you're like, hey, I want silver, and then tomorrow you're like, okay, so I did this, this, and this. This is what I'm doing. 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 We're going to be on your case and we're going to be in the trenches with you trying to figure it out, try to make it work. And so if you want success in your business, if you want that to feel like you are like running with someone, you have to run with us. Because I promise you, Mariah and I are running 24/7. You want to look at our inbox any single day, you tell me what day, what time, and you will see how many messages we sent, and it's at least 100 that day. Promise. But a lot of times you want the hype, but you don't want to put the action with it. And so one thing that I want to talk about, and I know a couple of you guys have started this, if you have texted me recently, and I am obsessed with it, and so I probably told you about it, but it is a new host to post system. Okay. If you guys have started using TikTok for host to post, put a 1 in the chat and tell me what you think of it. This is not, let me give a disclosure, warning, whatever. This is not to replace everything else we do on Facebook. Okay. This is not to replace regular host post messaging. This is not to replace whatever else we do. This is not the only thing of your business. Hear me? Yes. Okay. Because I don't want you to be like, I can post 1 TikTok a day and that's all I have to do. No. This is literally just a cherry on top of your business, okay? I will share a video. I'm going to put video in chat so I don't forget. That is going to explain it even more. I'm going to show you guys really, really quickly, okay? I'm going to share my screen. Let me see. There we go. Every time I'm like, I don't know how to do this. Hello? It's not doing that. I don't know why my computer hates when I screen share. Always. It freaks out. There we go. Okay. So this is still something that we are still tweaking. Okay. We're still trying to figure out the right system, the right platforms, and I'll explain that in a second. But just, this is still like a work in progress. Okay. So you're a test dummy at this point, but it's fine. So daily, what you're going to do is you're going to post a video with these words. They are in the board. Okay. Lip syncing to the top. It's nothing fancy. Okay. And I want to show you guys here, they're all the exact same, but you'll see this one had 800 views. The next one had 550. This one had 300. The next one had 2,700. The next one had 13,000. The next one had 300. The next one had 5. Okay. So every video, it's not anything fancy. It's not that I did something different. Okay. It's just random is really what I think the TikTok algorithm is. I don't know. I don't have any words to make it make sense, okay? But what I'm going to show you guys is the scripts, okay? So in the team chat or in the team board, okay? Under host to post system, you're going to go to Sam Bowers Haps, TikTok, okay? So step one, you're going to post a giveaway video on your TikTok, just like I showed you. This is the video that I'm going to share in the team chat tonight, but it's there if you want it, okay? When somebody comments, you're going to reply, okay? Right now, a lot of people are having them message you on Instagram. Okay. You can also have them text you. This is what I'm saying. We don't know what the right comment back is. I don't know if it's best to have them message you on Instagram. I don't know if it's best to have them text you. We don't know yet. So we're still kind of testing things. As of right now, this is what you're going to do. I'm going to switch this. Here we go. And then where it says at your girly gossip, you're going to switch it to your Instagram handle. If you do not have Instagram, okay, switch it to, and you can tweak this every time. You can make your own board, whatever you want, but just say, make sure you text me the word January to blah, 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 blah to confirm your entry. Okay. Once they reply or once they text you, you're going to say this, I got you. Thanks so much for messaging, blah, 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 blah. Okay. You're going to just go step by step. Number 4, can you add me? Number 5, what would you like to post about? Number 6, thank you. Here are the posts. Okay. Number 7, thanks for posting. Here's to enter. Hey, are you interested in the products or working with me? Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Like I said, very, very quick overview of that. What I want you to do, don't get too in your head about it. Just make a video every single day with the wording that says I'm Venmoing, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to put that in the board tonight too. Of what to post on the video, but you're just going to post one of those TikToks a day. Just commit to one a day. Just lip sync to a song that's trending. Even if it's not trending, just lip sync to a song, put the words on and post it. We can figure out the comments after. This is something that, like I said, it is a work in progress. We're trying to figure out how to convert the best, but worst case scenario, it is gaining more followers to your page, which is going to get more eyes on your future videos. Worst case scenario. Okay. Through this, I gained like 2,000 followers on Instagram, like 2,000 or 3,000 on TikTok, just from doing these for the past month. I haven't even been doing them for a month yet, like 3 weeks. Okay. And so even if I didn't get any host posts up yet, which I have, but even if I didn't, it's still more eyes. Okay. So that's the first thing I want you guys to do is just commit to doing one of those videos a day. That's it. Even if you don't understand any of the other things, post your video. And then when you start getting comments, text me and be like, okay, I posted the video and there's comments. Now what the heck do I do? And we'll figure it out and I'll walk you through it. Questions on that. And then I want you to end with this. Okay. Questions, comments? I like the answer because then it goes to my Facebook there. Yeah, I've done both. I don't know what works better. I don't know what the right answer is at this point. It's just like I said, we're still trying to figure out what the right thing is. I know it is just more people, which is always nice. So we will probably do a more in-depth training on it once we are like, yes, this is solid. This is the best way to do it. We'll probably do a more in-depth training.
Before we jump to the last point, I wanted to jump back real quick to where you were talking about like reaching out to your leader.
Oh yeah.
Because this was on my thought process when you were saying that, and I want to say, but it's just like a cheesy little wording for it, but like, open mouths get fed, right? Like the loudest mouths get fed. And I wish with everything in me that I could say that we're going to message you every single day. We're going to hold you accountable to your goals. But the truth is like, that's just not the case. Like as much as I wish it was, our teams are just gotten too big for that. We have our own businesses that we run as well. And we're praying for you. We are rooting for you and we are doing everything in the background. But this is a season where we cannot want it for you more than you want it for yourself. But the loudest mouth gets fed. So if you want our help, blow us the heck up. Okay, like I'm talking, I want to hear from you 20 times a day, and that's fine with me. I will be there. I will answer. I will run with you because there is so much power and strength and momentum and community, but it has to you have to show us that you want it. You have to show us that you're ready for it, and not ready for it as in you've got it all together or you've got the right scripts or you've got the right game plan, but you're ready for it as in you've got the heart to make it happen. You've got the drive to show up, to send the message, to say, I'm here, let's go. This is what I did. What do I tweak? This isn't working. What do I tweak? This is what happened. I need a pep talk. I need you to pray for me, or whatever it is that you're going. And we're going to run alongside you, but you've got to start the race. Okay. This is your race. This is your business. This is your goals. And we want to support you, but we cannot do it for you. We cannot hold you accountable day in and day out. We can't force you to do it. We can't force you to show up. We can't force you to go and make your promotions happen. It has to start with you and continue with you throughout the day. Not saying that you're going to have it together all the time. Not saying that we're not going to help hold you up and pick you up and carry you parts of it, but you have to be the one making the initiative and continuously showing up and blowing us the heck up, y'all. Okay.
Yeah. And don't feel bad about texting us. Don't, because I'm going to shout out my girl Savannah on here. She joined me like 2 weeks ago from, okay, you guys, here, perfect example. She texted me from a TikTok giveaway, posted, joined as a brand partner, and has signed 6 brand partners in her first 2 weeks. Okay. She came from TikTok. Okay. And she texted me and she's like, hey, am I bugging you? Hey, I'm sorry. I see your do not disturb us on. And I was like, it is. I don't even know why it's on.
It always is.
It's all, I don't even know. Okay. And she's like, I clicked announce anyways. And I was like, that's fine. I don't even know what happened. I don't know how to turn it off. And she's like, are you okay? Is it okay if I'm texting? I'm like, please, this is my favorite thing ever, because Mariah and I can't speak for every leader, but Mariah and I's favorite thing in the entire freaking world is to lead, is to coach, is when someone comes to me and it's like, I'm hyped up, I'm hungry, I'm doing the things, work with me. And I'm like, girl, I got you. Okay. So never feel bad about texting us for that. It's always on. Can you fix that tonight?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
So the last thing we want to talk about, we had a conversation. Courtney had a conversation with Jade, and I had a conversation with Courtney, and it both was just so profound. And I wanted to take the 8 minutes we have left to bring this to you guys in a quick idea when it comes to goal setting, because I feel like this was the missing link for both of us. And that means it's probably the missing link for a lot of you guys too, especially if you've been in the industry. If you guys are new, then like, heck yeah, because you get to hop on this concept a little early. But if it's not, then I think this maybe may resonate with you as aggressively as it did us. And it's like, you guys know how to set your goals, right? Like, you know what a big goal is. You know, like your baby goal, right? Like you want to be able to pay your bills. You want to pay off the debt, those things. Okay. We all can dream that. And then, you know, the big picture, you know, you want the farm, or you want the house with the porch, or you want to move to the beach, or you want to, whatever that big goal is for you, you know what those things look like. But I want to ask you guys, what happens in the middle? What's in the middle? If you were making $10,000 a month today, how would your life change? If you were rich today, how would your life change? Not as in a whole, not where you're going to move, not what you're going to do, but like when you wake up in the morning, what's different about that day than today? What looks different? Did you have a house cleaner? Did you eat organic breakfast cereal or organic fruit on your plate instead of the cheap store-bought stuff? Did you go to the spa to reset for the year? Like, what looks different in your day-to-day life? Because I think we look so much at this big picture of this place I want to go. I can close my eyes and I can see it. I know where the end of the road is. I know what I'm working for. I know what I'm running for, but it's the same thing I've been running for year after year after year. I know the dream I have on my heart. I know the lives I want to help. I know the impact I want to have, but no matter how hard I dream it and picture it, it's still just as far away. It's another year I showed up and I didn't get it done. It's still so far. And I know the little things. I know I want to be able to pay my bills, and I know I want to go debt free, but then what? Because the then what, there's going to be so much of that then what. There's so much of the time between the two. And if we're not taking the time to actually start thinking about what that looks like if you had money today, no debt, no worry about your bills, and an extra $5,000 a month, okay? What changes today? Not what you're going to put in savings, not what you're going to hope for, like, I pay off, like, ready to go for this thing. No, what changes today? What looks different in this moment? Because your day-to-day would change. And I want you guys to dream the small as well as the big. I want you guys to start thinking before you go to bed tonight, make a list of 5 things that would change today if you had an extra $5,000 this month. What are those little things? And start implementing those thoughts. And then to trigger that even further, I loved this idea. It's if you like me, you know, sometimes we like to complain about things, okay? We get stuck in these cycles of complaining because I know that big picture. I know where I'm called. I know where I need to be. And why the freaking heck am I not there? And so I'm doing the dishes and I'm irritated because I have so many dishes and all I do is do the dishes and I can't even pay my bills and, you know, this and this. And my husband's working hours and so he can't help because this and this. And like I get stuck in this area of complaining. And so Jay said, anytime that you get stuck in that complaint, right? That negative of like looking at your life and being frustrated it's not further or something's not different. Instead of looking at it and complaining, I want you guys to start looking at it and saying, wouldn't it be cool if? So when you're grumpily doing the dishes because you're frustrated, you have to do it again. Wouldn't it be cool if I could pay someone to do these dishes for me? Like, wouldn't it be cool if I had a house cleaner come vacuum the floor so I didn't have to worry about it? Wouldn't it be cool if I had someone that could fold my laundry and put it away so it didn't pile up in my laundry room every couple of weeks? Wouldn't it be cool if my daughter could go to school 5 days a week instead of 2 because I didn't have to worry about the difference in tuition? Wouldn't it be cool if I could go see my family in Georgia anytime I wanted? Wouldn't it be cool if my father or my grandfather is in ICU in Missouri right now? Wouldn't it be cool if we could just pack up and go? Instead of looking at the negatives we have in our life, how can we start programming our mind to change? Because you will perpetuate what you think. And so if we're looking and thinking and seeing through the lens of negativity, we are going to perpetuate that into our lives. It has to start somewhere. It has to start somewhere. You have to start believing and convincing yourself that your life doesn't suck. You have to start convincing yourself that today is a good day, that your life is good now. Because if you want it to be good, then you have to believe it here. We have to walk in gratitude and walk in the life of abundance we have. We want to sit there and complain and look at what could be more. But guys, instead, I want you to find a way to appreciate and start dreaming in the day to day, not just the big picture, not just this grandiose idea, but in the moment to moment of what you are actually living. Because that big dream is cool and dandy, and I do want that for you, and I do believe that for you, but it's not going to mean anything if you can't learn to appreciate and start cultivating that dream life in this reality. Because you will dream it and believe it here, you will start cultivating it here before you ever can get there. And if you're skipping the in between, if you were just waiting to show up for this amazing idea, you're not going to get there, because it's got to take more work than that. It's got to take more moment to moment than that. It's got to take more time of grasping the way we are looking at our lives now, the way we are thinking of our lives now, our businesses, our families, our relationships, all the things have to start with the way we perceive them in this season, in this moment. Start creating your dream life, your dream business, your dream team, your dream enrollment goals, your dream ranks, your dream income, your dream house, your dream everything here today in this season. And when you start living that dream life in your current situation, your current circumstances, you will find out that you will wake up one day in that dream life so much quicker and so much more effectively, not because we got so crystal clear on that big dream, but because we started living that dream in today's world.
Yeah, you guys, I think it's just so easy to get so caught up in like, and whether you want to admit to this or not, it's so easy to get caught up in like, I'm just so frustrated that my life is like this. I'm so frustrated that this is how I'm living, that this is my financial situation, that this is how I feel, that this is what my house looks like, that this is what our bills look like, this is what my debt looks like. And it's so easy to get caught up in that moment, in that spiral of things just all feel bad. And so when Jade brought that idea to me of like, instead of thinking of like, I have dishes everywhere, I have laundry everywhere, I have kids everywhere that don't stop making noise for the love of God. And right, like so many things that happen. And she's like, just switch it and be like, how cool would it be if I could pay someone to come just like fix my house, just do all the things I don't want to do? How cool would it be if I could put both my kids in daycare at a place that I know and trust and love and know that they love them how I love them? How cool would it be if the first of every month I text her and I was like, hey, spa day on me, let's go? How cool would it be if I could text her and be like, hey, we're going to go to the beach tomorrow. Do you want to go? The answer is always yes, by the way. If you don't know Mariah, she will always go to the beach. Okay. But I need you to start thinking of your life and what's different here and what you can make different now. And so what I want you to do before we end this Zoom, the homework for tonight is to go into our team chat. I'm going to share the things I said, but I want you to list out 5 things that your life would look different right now if you had an extra 5,000 on top of what you need for bills. Okay, so I want you to think about that, put it in the team chat, and we will see you guys next week. Bye, guys.
Oh, that's kind of close.
I think, yeah. Oh.